You shall, for each murder conviction individually, suffer the death penalty.
Convicted killer Jonathan Fajardo is one of the latest additions to California's death row. For the family of Fajardo's victim, his death sentence gives them a sense of justice served.
We can finally move forward, that Fajardo got what he deserved.
But there is a high price for society's desire for retribution. $300 million per executed prisoner. Since 1978, 13 inmates have been put to death, and some $4 billion have been spent on California's death row, according to a newly released study. With more than 700 inmates still waiting to be executed, that cost is expected to jump to $9 billion by 2030. Throughout the years, voters in the state have consistently shown their approval for the death penalty at the polls. Now, the argument over whether to keep pouring money and people into death row comes at a time when the state is dealing with a massive budget shortfall of some $25 billion. Leading many to argue the death penalty is a luxury the cash-strapped state can no longer afford.
There's so many different things that you can put that budget towards instead of killing people. You put that budget into different programs to better the streets as far as for the youth, as far as like more, you could say, housing programs for the homeless.
All areas facing deep cuts as money is short. In one of Riverside's middle-class neighborhoods, school construction is complete, but there is no money to operate it, so it remains empty.
It costs more to keep one person in prison in the state of California than it does to send a kid to USC, for example, a private university. So what it says is the state is more than willing to spend money on our communities, but it's to imprison our communities.
A short-sighted policy, according to Ron Gochez, who as a community organizer sees the human costs of the economic crisis up close.
If you have a higher unemployment rate and you spend more money on incarceration and at the same time spend less money on education, that's a perfect recipe for disaster.
While capital punishment is meant to deter the most heinous of crimes, in one of Los Angeles's poorest and most crime-ridden neighborhoods, the debate is still not settled over whether it's even working.
I feel like it doesn't change. It doesn't, these criminals are hard-headed, you know? They don't care what's going on and what rules are out there. They're going to break them.
You take away the death penalty, ain't nobody going to... I mean, that's the only thing that's making black people and white people scared, you feel me? It's the death penalty. Don't nobody want to go through the death penalty, you know? I say keep it, but is it a waste of money? No, it's not a waste of money.
Nevertheless, a bill to abolish the death penalty has been introduced in the state legislature. While the issue remains a moral one for many, the final verdict may be one based on overwhelming financial evidence. In Los Angeles, Ramon Galindo, RT.